What's up, guys? It's Zach, the Celtics guy here. I'm back with another video and here to talk about an important topic in the news right now. So, Krystal Ball from Krystal, Kyle and Friends. It's the show that radio show / podcast, YouTube clip style show that Kyle Kulinski is doing with his girlfriend Krystal Ball, and Krystal Ball is a progressive, much like Kyle is, and she went on Real Time with Bill Maher on HBO, and she did a phenomenal job with regards to talking about Russiagate and economics and all sorts of different things, and you know, there's a lot of things I do agree with Bill Maher on, and I do enjoy watching his stuff from time to time. I mean, I even saw him do stand-up here in Boston, actually. I've seen him do that, and he was actually pretty funny. And but yeah, when it comes to certain things, yeah, some of Bill Maher's takes can be a little bit ridiculous, but there's a lot of times where he does get it right. But on this, no, Krystal Ball definitely definitely had the upper hand in this debate, and even Jimmy Dore actually covered this, and it was a good time, and I'm actually very glad that Krystal Ball went on Real Time, and I actually wish Kyle Kulinski debated Bill Maher as well. I think it would have been a fun time to see Kyle Kulinski talk to him with regards to certain, issues and whatnot, especially with Israel-Palestine, which is probably one of the biggest things that I disagree with Bill Maher on. I think a lot of the time he makes pro-Israeli propaganda sometimes, and I think it's a little bit ridiculous, but I think that Krystal Ball definitely did really good on on the show, and as we go along here, I just want to show this clip here that Jimmy Dore had to show us with regards to this Bill Maher segment, and I'll talk about what she's right about and my thoughts on the whole thing.
Maher don't know what the hell they're talking about, and Krystal Ball does. And yeah. So this guy says that we spent too much money helping people, like the people who were unemployed because they closed their frickin' place of employment. And watch what Krystal Ball says.
Yeah, so Jimmy Dore's defending Krystal Ball over Bill Maher. So much for Jimmy Dore being a fucking right-wing conservative, like the Young Turks and Humanist Report and Sam Cedar say. Fuck off.
The economy, there's way too much government spending, and that's why we have inflation. So that's a large part of that. It's just basic economics.
That is not basic economics. We had this thing called a pandemic. We had a supply chain crisis, and by the way, there's a war in Ukraine. So to act like the only reason we have problems now is because people got a little bit of money in their bank account is just not honest.
And a little bit of money, they got more than we spent in World War II. So don't act.
When he says a little money, when he says they, who do you mean they?
Yeah, who does he mean by they? Like, Bill, what are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? It's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean they? That doesn't make any sense.
Talking about the CARES Act, because the CARES Act didn't go to they, the workers, they, the people. It went to they, the oligarchy. It was a fleecing of America, as Dylan Radigan and other people explained on this show. And it was a fleecing. It wasn't. They didn't give money to people. They didn't help people barely at all.
Yeah, it didn't. It was basically more tax cuts for the rich, more tax cuts for corporations and so forth. Because it's funny, because I remember there was a time when Bill Maher used to say, corporations run the show and so forth. It's like, dude, why are you going in this direction? And yeah, Krystal Ball knows a hell of a lot more on economics with regards to this. But sorry, Bill, I might like you, but, I'm cool with you and all that, but sorry. Krystal Ball had the upper hand in this. I'm sorry, my defense between you and her is going to go over to her because I defend her over you. Sorry, not sorry. Because she knows what she's talking about. She's talking about real issues, real issues that...
And that, as Dylan Radigan explained on this show and described it, the CARES Act was the equivalent of if your economy was a car and your car was broken down on the freeway, you would send a tow truck to fix it or to tow it away and get it fixed.
I've had that
What
experience.
the CARES Act was the government sending a bunch of criminals to pull the tires off, strip the engine, and take the stereo out, and then take off. That's what the CARES Act was.
Exactly.
And instead of taking that money and giving it to people, they took that money and they gave it to the rich people already.
Yep.
And they threw it into the stock market and other places. And Bill Maher doesn't understand that because Bill Maher only hangs out with other people who are millionaires.
It pains me.
I'm jealous. I aspire to that. Okay, how about that? So
Yeah, it actually pains me because there's a lot of things that Bill Maher says that I actually do agree with. You know, I mean, there's a variety of different things that he says that I do agree with. I mean, that doesn't mean I'm like shilling over Bill Maher or anything like that, even though I might be a fan of him on certain things. He does have a lot of good shows, makes a lot of good points. But on this, no, he's dead wrong. And Krystal Ball, again, has the upper hand. So I wish he would stop saying, whoa, what are you talking about? Because, you know, it's like, this is my show. Like, what are you talking about? It's like, no, dude.
Like
Hold on.
Whoa.
Hold on.
Don't act like, you said don't act. Don't act like we had to react to the pandemic exactly the way we did. We had to spend $6 trillion.
Okay, but how about
on
the
Yeah, we did.
trillions that the Federal Reserve shot at Wall Street? For some reason, people don't
What?
get upset about
Right.
How much-
that.
what'd you
And
say?
that fueled
There she goes. There
the
she goes.
trillions of dollars the Federal Reserve shot at Wall Street to
Shot?
stop the stock market and the bond market. No one gets upset about that, even though that was a
But
massive
I don't know
factor
what
in
you're talking
inflation.
about. What do you mean shot at Wall Street?
Well,
What are we talking about?
We're talking about buying
Tax
assets,
cuts.
buying stocks, buying bonds, buying treasury bills,
When?
so that they expand the balance sheet. This
When? All the time. For fucking decades and decades. Especially during COVID.
during the crisis, the coronavirus crisis, when the stock market crashed, that is what the Fed did. They went into action. They shot
But the
trillions
stock
of dollars
market
into
didn't
the-
crash during
Now it's
COVID.
It
crashing.
did.
Oh, it was on the verge of crashing. It wasn't like 2007, 2008, but it was right up there.
So this is what happens when you get your news from MSNBC. Bill Maher is
Yeah.
getting his news from his pal Rachel Maddow. Where do you think he's getting his news? And he's like, what? There wasn't a
Unfortunately-
crash of the stock market at the beginning of COVID. Yes, there was.
Oh, big time.
But guess what? They just threw money at it. It was a money cannon. That was a headline. That was one headline I remember covering. So he's completely doesn't know what he's talking about, and Krystal Ball does, and she goes on.
Crashing now.
My grandparents are big Bill Maher fans, and even they said that Krystal Ball had the upper hand. I even asked my grandfather via text message. I said to my grandfather, I'm just like, hey, did you see Bill Maher's show the other night? And he's like, yeah. He's like, yes, I did. I was like, what did you think of Krystal Ball? And he says, yeah, she was pretty good. Saying that she was pretty good. You know, and even though they're mostly centrists and all that.
Crashed and the Fed came in and backstopped it. That's what happened.
What, it crashed and we
that's
never
what I'm
heard about
saying.
it?
No, it crashed. Go back and look at it.
I think-
it
When-
fell off a cliff.
when?
The Treasury bond market stopped functioning, and the Fed took extraordinary
She's
actions never
fucking
taken
fire.
in history.
Wow.
Somehow no one gets upset.
I don't remember that.
Somehow nobody gets upset about the rich people who got tons of money and tons of support,
Oh, yeah.
way more than working class people did.
Sure
but
they
oh
do.
my God, people were able to feed their kids and they had a little bit of money in their bank accounts. It was the worst thing in the world.
No.
That is one small part of the inflation story, and it is, by the way, not the only thing that we can deal with to get out of this.
Okay, so I think we solved the mystery of why no one gets mad at the trillion spent to bail out Wall Street during the pandemic, and it's because Bill Maher didn't know about it.
He's the barometer for what people know about. He really is.
Yeah, I did
Why
not
didn't
know
anyone
about
know
it.
about it? Well, there were more important things to worry about. Masks, celebrity tweets about masks, and which superheroes were gay. So what was she talking about? She's talking about this. This is from PBS NewsHour. Federal Reserve to lend additional $1 trillion a day to large banks.
To large banks. Large banks, meaning like fucking millionaires and billionaires, those kinds of people. So no, Bill, what are you talking about here? No. So Yeah, Krystal Ball was fucking, she was amazing on this. And this is why I wish Kyle Kulinski was a part of that panel, because it would have been hilarious. It would have been hilarious. I think that they would have both given Bill Maher a run for his money. You know? So, yes, I'm the type of person that can say, yeah, I support Bill Maher on a lot of things, but I can also tell him to shut the fuck up when he's talking a bunch of nonsense, okay? I'll laugh in his face. Okay, I don't give a fuck. You know, it's like, I'm that type of person. Just like I can sit there and support Bernie Sanders, but also tell him to go fuck himself when he says something stupid. You know, I'll laugh in his face too. Like, I don't give a fuck. Okay? It's like when you spout bullshit, I will call that shit out, whether I support you or not. Okay, whether I support you politically or emotionally or otherwise, I will, well, politically and emotionally kind of correspond to each other. But I will say that exact same thing because it's like, no, the whole inflation, you know, in this country and, you know, gas prices and everything else is all because it's all because the corrupt oligarchy in this country that fucking dominates virtually everything use that as a monopoly to screw around with economics and price gouge people and to price gouge working families for their own profits, because that's what they do. This is what happens with free market bullshit, because that's what this all broils down to. This all broils down to the oligarchy in the top 1% fucking the average person over. So Bill Maher doesn't seem to understand that COVID is a monopoly, and it kind of made it, you know, it just screwed everything over. You know, it screwed everything over. But of course, you know, the lockdowns and everything else and limited capacity in certain places just made everything difficult and made everything more complicated and screwed over the economy a lot more. So wasn't exactly the right response, and Jimmy Dore says the same thing. And knowing what we know now about COVID, yeah, there wouldn't have been mandates and this, that, and the other thing, or we shouldn't have supported mandates and things like that, as COVID is majorly subsided at this point. So, yeah, kudos to Krystal Ball. Krystal Ball did a phenomenal job on Bill Maher's show. She did. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you like Bill Maher or not. I do in a lot of ways. For the most part, I have no problems with Bill Maher. For the most part, I don't. Although, when it comes to certain things, like certain economics, when it comes to like the Israel-Palestine thing or so whatever, you know, he kind of is just like, I'm like looking at the screen like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, and it's the truth. And I defend Krystal Ball. So, like I said, I'm center left. I'm like a traditional, like I said, everyone knows at this point what I am, a traditional liberal that supports universal healthcare, universal education, universal pre-K, daycare, universal childcare, everything. I support a living wage. I support a $15 an hour minimum wage. It probably should even be higher in a lot of different instances. But I support the vast majority of my positions are left wing. The vast majority of them are. But I will sit there and I will stand up for what I believe in, no matter how popular or unpopular it is. But Krystal Ball did a phenomenal job on Bill Maher's show. Really did. And I give her props because I think this was a great time. This was a great time. This was a great thing to say. Great thing to say. So that's really about all I had to say for now, but I just wanted to come on here and talk about that because that's a big issue, and I wanted to sit there and say that. So I'm going to wrap this up for now, but thank you to everybody who was listening. I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more content coming up soon. There's definitely more stuff in the works. I'll probably stream later this week, probably maybe tomorrow or Friday if I got time. But either way, I'll be back with more videos, content, other stuff in the works. Stay tuned for more and more stuff on the way. This is Zach the Celtics guy saying thank you for watching. See you all again in the next video, stream or premiere or whatever it happens to be. And kudos to Krystal Ball, but even kudos to Bill Maher for having her on his show to begin with, you know? I mean, I'm glad that there was actually a debate between the two. I think it was a good thing, and it takes a lot of guts to talk to people who differ from you politically. I mean, so that's one of the things I respect about Bill Maher. Whether you agree or disagree with him, that's one thing I respect about him. So respect to him for that, but she won the debate. Have yourselves a great day. See you all again next time. Stay tuned for more coming your way soon. Bye for now. Take care. Peace out, and have a good day.